Minister to respond to Dr. Sands and explain government's positions on the issues in the news. And now this week, funny enough, I received calls and messages and social media posts from all political organizations, in fact, accusing me of favoring one over the next. Now, I want to say this. Some argued, in fact, this was where the majority of the chatter came from, that somehow I am on the attack with the official opposition. Far from the truth. The thing is, I report what is happening. My role in this position is to stay on the issue, to uncover and in many instances discuss the fallout that's been happening over the last several months. You all saw it. In fact, over a year that the opposition has not been able to get it together. The same shows and discussions you see on U.S. network televisions that you enjoy so much, well, that's what I do. You can't enjoy watching it in the United States and figure that a phone and Wi-Fi empowers you to spew at the mouth when I do it. I owe it to you, the Bahamian people, to stay on the issues, to ask the questions, to get the answers. The topics that are addressed nightly on this show are not determined by your political preference or view. I'm not driven by who feels this way or that, or where you lean. This election season, I will be the voice to guide you in exercising your democratic choice. And to the few of you who the supplies have attempted in the face of victimization, to be fair and balanced so that you live the quality of life that you deserve to live in this Bahamas. And so, let's move forward sensibly, okay? I know I'll have to say that a few more times until 2026, but let's do so sensibly. And so this evening, let's get started. Did you invest some money in any of the Ponzi schemes? Any of the, I think Justin was saying one was called something, a CARB acronym is the acronym.
Alliance.
What is it?
Creators Alliance.
Creators Alliance.
An Income Max.
An Income Max. Two of them. Did you invest any money? Did you receive any payment? In fact, I spoke with a leading figure who said, listen, man, I put my money and I got it out. But then it went belly up. Are you just left standing empty-handed wondering where your thousands of dollars went? Well, we're going to get in right there this evening. We're going to talk about it because just before airtime, we were looking at one that's, I think, and Grand Bahama seems to be the spot for this to be happening, right, gentlemen?
Yep.
So let's just get into it. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, our Week in Review contributors, Beyond the Headlines contributors, Leslie Miller and Garth Rosborough. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you. It's been listen, this week has been just a lot happening, right? Just tons. I mean, we've had rallies, we've had Office of the Prime Minister making headlines, which we will get to. But this Ponzi scheme that it's being called, in fact, the chairman of the Securities Commission really is warning Bahamians to be clear of stuff like this. Be smarter with your hard-earned money. Gentlemen, by any chance did you all invest?
The mum is the word. I see Leslie Miller has not even made any attempt to mention. Of course, I would never be a part of such a scheme. And then the rule simply applies. If something is too good to believe, then more than likely it's not true.
Exactly.
As for me personally, if you look at our country, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, by now you people should have learned that one of the best investments that you could possibly make in our country is in real estate. It's a sure bet.
Yep.
For those of you who are blessed to have any generational property that you can prove that it is generational property,
Yeah, like how the title deeds.
is where you have a title, you have a deed, you invest. If you have purchased a piece of property, here is where you invest. Many times we become just a bit too ambitious. We want the instant roof on top of our structure, but you need to now learn how to start at basic. You build your foundation, you get your T111, you put a roof on that, only for a bedroom and a bathroom, and you start there. You don't need to entertain anyone else. This is what you call home. If you built it and you own it, then you should be proud of it. But whenever you go over the seas and you look at someone else's glamorous lifestyle, the type of fancy cars that they have, the fancy homes that they have, riding in Lear jets, let me just simply say this to you. It's far-fetched. I would never encourage it. Come back home, like the song says. Come back home and start building block by block your dream and make it a reality.
You know, it's interesting. These Ponzi schemes have been around for a long, long time. Remember during COVID, a lot of scams came out on the good people at the Bahamas Commission, Bahamas Securities Commission, stopped them. Mrs. Christina Rule, who heads that wonderful department, and her people did a wonderful job in shutting them down. Now they're up again. But if you just look at the names of them, you're skeptical. Creators Alliance, Income Max. Think about it, Creators Alliance. They created this thing for you to make money, for them ready to make money. And then Income Max, we can max out your income. Bahamians get hooked up on these things because you always find crooks all around and they go to the weakest point. They realize that Freeport right now is in dire straits trying to get themselves back. And so far the economy is sort of bouncing back in a marginal way. So you'll go there and give people this pie in the sky notion that if you invest with us, if you put your money, they said if you put 500, within 6 months you can get 1,500 back. Well, that's like taking Bahamas there and going to Mars, eh? It just ain't gonna happen. They can run out of fuel. And people are taking advantage of, I don't want to use the word ignorant, but people who are
vulnerable financially and just want a quick fix.
But those who want something for nothing.
Yeah, but not everybody is ignorant.
Right, exactly.
If you remember the Clico situation, I don't think these people were ignorant.
And they still haven't been paid yet.
When you heard about FTX coming into our country, I don't think we were ignorant. We were hopeful, but there are some people that actually do manage to persuade you that they are legitimate.
Yeah.
In this particular instance, I think what Mr. Leslie Miller is saying is, you just got to have a little knack and a little bit of perception, a little bit of just gut feeling that when you see something that's just really just too good to be true,
it is.
You just leave it alone.
I'll tell you this, a politician said to me that he did it and he got his money back.
But there's always a few that do. As a former pastor, I will teach you all this, and I mean, I may be wrong for this, for teaching you this. But music is a way to a man's soul. And if you play the right music, and you ask for 10 people to bring $1,000 to the front, you've already given $1,000 to the two first people that are coming forward. The other 8 people...
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on now, Garth. You were saying the way they play this out in these big churches...
The only person that loses is you.
Hold on, so 2 people, this is how it's set up.
Already got the $1,000.
2 people got the $1,000 to come up from the preacher.
Yeah.
God, that don't happen, man.
Okay, so you tell me how you fish. You put the bait in the water and the rest of the fish come. What you talking about?
Yep.
This is life. And after $1,000, you go down to 750. From 750, you go to 500. From 500, you go to 300. From 300, you go down to 2, and then 1, and then 50, and then whatsoever you got to bring it to the Lord in prayer. I'm not bashing preachers, but there are a lot of scam artists out there. If you remember the Reverend Ike back in the day,
one of the
Reverend
best.
Ike will clean you out in the name of Jesus.
Millions upon millions.
So take away, let's stop bashing the churches, let's take away the average man who has no Jesus in him. He's going to rob you blind. So once again, if it's too good to be true, more than likely it's not true.
Exactly.
I tell
So
you.
be cautious.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure that Mrs. Rule and her team is going to take care of that and shut them down ASAP. Because she's used to these skirmishes. They're on the team.
Yeah.
So
Gentlemen,
I'm sure
I want to move forward very quickly because we have a lot to get to. This week, the Office of the Prime Minister came under fire again. This time for the no-bid $183 million contract to pave roads in West Grand Bahama. So here's what OPM said a few days ago. An administrative error stemming from what is believed to be a breakdown in communication is what officials are saying is the reason behind the recently publicized $183 million no-bid contract. Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latre Raming, making the admission today while maintaining that officials did nothing unscrupulous. Of course, that's a few days ago. The hefty contract was awarded to Abaco Caribbean Holdings Limited, an affiliate of Bahamas Striping Group of companies for road paving in Grand Bahama. Here's Raming.
The Prime Minister has reviewed the decision-making process and confirmed that an administrative error led to the inclusion of an allocation that had been previously paused under his instructions. While the need for public works in Grand Bahama remains real, and the specific matter was set aside for further review, unfortunately, the instruction was not reflected in the final published list. As stated in our previous statements, there were no wrongdoing, no improper intent, and no malfeasance. The model of the contract is in question involved a project manager coordinating multiple contractors, not a single vendor receiving full allocation. This review is ongoing, and once completed, a revised statement will be issued to the public. We remain committed to transparency and to correcting the record when errors are identified. These are two separate issues, but both speak to the same principle, that the Prime Minister leads with accountability, with discipline, and with the best interests of the Bahamian people at his heart.
Is something that the opposition says, it don't smell right. It don't smell right, because what is this administrative error? I had just this week Leslie and Garth on the show, as I said earlier, Latre Raming, and he said, listen, what it was is the Prime Minister, the decision was made to shelve it or to put it on hold, but the communication aspect of all of this is what caused it to be published and put out there. Your thoughts on just how, you know, these slip-ups and these trip-ups coming from OPM are not necessary. If you remember the Exuma moorings matter, and then of course this, your thoughts about how this played out this week and that explanation?
Well, for me, the overall view and gut feeling about this is that you've been caught with your pants down. Had we, the people, not been so observant and so vigilant, I kind of wonder if this would have actually taken place. $183 million is not a light sum of money. That, to me, I cannot see as a slip-up. It's just too huge. If it was a small amount, maybe so. $183 million, and the Prime Minister finding out on the latter end to pause this particular contract, I just find it really strange, really strange.
No, I agree with what you said. $183 million ain't a little bit of money.
And a little bit of money.
For one company, or two, but the sister company, they're the same, eh? The cash go into the same bank account. I just think some of the people that work in these anti-government ministries and what have you, however they want to fix things in a negative way that adversely affect the government, is being done. We saw it a few times now, the slip-ups that has happened. I believe the explanation was sort of sound one, that it has been shelved. But if the work is still needed, what are you going to do for the people of Grand Bahama?
You bet, because the work is still needed.
you know, that's my question. The work still needs to go on, eh?
Well,
I don't think one company should get all the damn contracts, to be honest. Okay, there's a lot of Bahamians around here who could do good work, road work, that is in need of work, and I'll be able to go wherever they have to go to earn a living. I just think you need to slice these contracts up so that everybody can have bread on the table instead of one crew having all and the rest having nothing. That can't be right in a society where we're all supposed to be equal on one country with a flag called the Commonwealth of Bahamas. I think it needs to be spread out so that everybody can get something.
I'm almost certain there's information that is not privy to the public. Not everything that is discussed with the Prime Minister is to be understood by all. I am almost certain of that. But what was made to be understood by us, Mr. Miller and Ms. Shanique Miller, was that this hotel that they had in Grand Bahama, along with the airport and other infrastructure, would also be given some priority. We're now hearing $183 million, which to me would actually solve a whole lot of those issues if we were to begin the process now. But now hearing about $183 million on the road, when the people's houses are in disrepair, when people are jobless and hopeless and allow Ponzi schemes to come into their island,
Yes.
I would say we could use $183 million in so many different and a better way.
I mean, now I'll tell you, good roads add to that sort of ease of living and moving about. But I agree with you, it is so much more needed in Grand Bahama. It can be certainly divvied up and allocated in a better way. Gentlemen, do you think that tourists, female in particular, coming from the United States, must and should be armed with a body cam vest or something before they go out on a jet ski with a Bahamian man?
Well, I love jet ski operators. My mother was actually the first loan officer to actually give a loan for a jet ski in the Bahamas. And she was at a particular bank here in the Bahamas. I've held a relationship with many of the jet ski operators. For their safety, one story versus another. We know how that goes in our country, where the person who's renting the jet ski is going to now have to make the assertion that something did take place, but the burden of proof lies on the jet ski operator. And for these men on the beach, not all of them have the articulation necessary or even the character necessary to say, you know what, I'm innocent. And we know that you're not really guilty till you're proven innocent, but in our country, we are quick to say that these people are guilty. To put a camera on the body of a tourist simply alleviates any idea that something has actually taken place.
Well, you're right, God. Hold that thought right there. Let's hear. Last evening I spoke with jet ski operator and owner Wenrick Roll Jr., and here's what he had to say. Yeah. You heard me read an excerpt from the U.S. Embassy's statement, and I'm sure you all have combed through it and saw it and reread it and read it again several times. Are you able to say if you personally have heard of any American woman, or any woman in fact, being violated by a jet ski operator?
Personally, no. I've always heard through either whether it's happened on the news media or through word of mouth that something has happened. But around in this area here, around here at the Bahamar Hotel, we haven't had any of those incidents that have been reported, such as that.
What is the jet ski operators that are based there? What is the relationship with the hotel?
We have a good relationship. We coexist to a certain point where we have the hotel comes and gives us gas as well. So it depends on, I guess, in the way you carry yourself. But the guests, they have a good time. We sign them up on waiver forms and everything, and we haven't had much complaints, if any, from any guests here.
So I imagine you're that much more careful because of the relationship with... Well, there you have it. Of course, that was last night's show, speaking with a jet ski operator in the Western District and attached, really working closely with the hotel there, saying that, listen, they operate a very strict operation. They follow the guidelines as dictated by the association, the Jet Ski Association, and you know, they too want this sorted out because their reputation has taken a hit. The U.S. Embassy, that's a strong warning too in about a month. And so certainly, of course, it can be quite damaging. And we will see how it all unfolds, you know, in the weeks and the months to come. This is Beyond the Headlines, Week in Review Friday. We have so much more to review for you. Stay close. We're back right after this.
What is it? Huh? Oh, ghost pepper burger. Chicken. I always at Popeyes, so me just come and taste that chicken.
Wow.
Nice, crunchy. This is off the chism.
Wow, that is way better than I expected. Very spicy, extremely spicy actually. The bread is very soft. The chicken is juicy. Yeah, that's spicy for me.
Keep the Bible Live Music Group presents The Legends of Rake Spray. Get ready for the biggest names in Bahamian music live on stage. KB, Funky D, Chino D, D-Ma, Sweet Emily, Simeon Alton, Veronica Bishop, and more like the Singing Bishop. Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission 80, VIP 120. Tickets available at Missouri, Bookie Brand at the Beauty Shack, both locations. Skyboxes and Skypod. Call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Or email keepthebible242@gmail.com. Saturday, May 10th. Come by boat and play and experience the legends of Rake and Scrape. Brought to you by Keep the Bible Live Music Group, ESC Distributors, Missouri, The Plug, The Beauty Shack, Bahamas, Bookie Brand, and Caribbean Wines and Spirits. Attention, Bahamas! Get ready to link up in Eleuthera. Keep the Bible Live Music Group, Colette, Bahamas, and the Rock Sound Homecoming Committee presents KB and Friends Boatman Show, April 18th and 19th in beautiful Rock Sound, Eleuthera. At the homecoming site, April 18th, experience the boatman himself, KB. Mama D, Colin McDonald, and the Falcons. April 19th, 2019, the vibes keep going with Ancient Man, Fan Sean, Teray Roll, Keisha, and the King of the South, Avi. With music by DJ Rap, Pop Style, DJ Lodge, and DJ Andy. Don't miss the Boatman Easter Weekend concert. Book your flights, rooms, and rentals now. For info, email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Telephone 558-3804. Don't miss the ultimate Boatman concert. See you in Eleuthera, April 18th and 19th.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by the Legends of Rake and Scrape, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. You know, I want to jump right back, Leslie and Garth, onto that because the Ministry of Energy and Transport has released a statement condemning Bahamian illegal jet ski operators amid the United States Embassy's alert here in the Bahamas. You heard me talk about it, warning U.S. citizens participating in water activities, specifically jet ski excursions, and banning employees stationed here in the Bahamas from renting jet skis. I'll tell you this, the gentleman I spoke with just before the break, he says they stay in view of everyone. They don't go so here's a tip for y'all. If your jet ski operator is trying to take you behind a key or say, let's go to that key over there, red flag. Because he says they just go sort of up and down to ensure that they're always in sight. But Leslie, your thoughts on this, on the fact that it is being suggested and proposed that maybe these visitors ought to be armed with a body cam?
I find this to be so egregious that someone came with the idea that a visitor should wear a body cam in the Bahamas. You come here, you're having a good time with your family and your friends, and you want to go on a jet ski, and they say for your own safety, wear a body cam. Think of that. As a people, that affects us. If we go
I don't know if I'd
to any country, if we go to the United States or anywhere else,
wouldn't want to.
Would someone attempt to ask you that? The tourists are here to have fun. And there's only maybe one or two fellas who get most of the ski operators in trouble like this and insulting the people to say that you must wear a body. Who's going to provide the body cam? Is that going to be provided by the jet ski company? Is it going to be provided by the Ministry of Tourism, who's very concerned about the image of the Bahamian people? Who's going to do it?
But also that image is also affected, Leslie, when you think about it like this, because if you mentioned some destinations, if I go to any of them and I want to go and participate in an activity and they say, oh, you have to wear this camera because, for safety. Well, I am inclined to say, you know what?
Go there?
No, thanks. I'm not interested.
What are you going to go there for? No, I mean, we have to do better than this, We have a country called the Commonwealth.
But then on the flip side, they're trying to obviously spare the jet ski industry and those guys, as well as the female
Therefore,
tourists.
those who commit those heinous crimes
Make an
has to be
example of?
dealt with severely by the law and never given a license to be anywhere around tourists or anybody else.
Yeah, but
enforce the law.
Enforce the law, yes. It's the same thing with violence in our country, Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Enforce the laws.
Yes.
But we have a problem with enforcement.
Yes.
And so when it comes to just the whole tale of the Bahamas being an unsafe region or an unsafe country, can we truly afford our tourism market to take another hit? I've seen time and time again when we have been accused of being this violent nation where tourists should not come off of the cruise ships, where tourists don't need to take money when they're on the streets. They shouldn't try to purchase anything off the streets. This has been an attack even from the Florida region on the Bahamas. I understand the game of tourism. I understand that this is a business. But as a Bahamian people, we need to find a way to defend ourselves against such attacks.
But I have seen the downside of this in my lifetime. I'll give you an example. Back in 1974, the Jamaican dollar was worth $1.30 US dollars.
Yes, I
that was
recall.
The strength of the Jamaican dollar.
I recall historically.
We had a Miami conference. The Conference of the Americas was held every year. At that time, I was working at the Bahamas Development Corporation to track industry and try to diversify this economy. And at that conference, President Reagan made the statement that it was dangerous for U.S. tourists to go to Jamaica. Stay away from Jamaica. the economy collapsed. The Jamaicans then had to go to the IMF to borrow billions of dollars to prop their economy up.
And we see
their
how that
dollar
worked
then
out.
sank to nothing. That was in 1975.
Yeah.
And today, they haven't crawled themselves out of that dark hole that was caused because of crime that affected Jamaica in such a way. Mind you, it wasn't only the crime. At that same time, the leaders in the Caribbean, including Lake St. Finland, Michael Manley, and others from Guyana, Dr. What's his name? Who's the Prime Minister of Guyana? They were telling America, you want us to help you with the smuggling and everything else. But what are you giving us to assist us in the smuggling? And President Reagan wanted to send a message to them that these black leaders, talking back to me. And he picked Jamaica because Jamaica at that time had violence at the tourists. And it ruined the country to this day. Jamaica dollar is worth what? 1,000 to 1 American dollar? This is the damage that could be done if we're not careful.
This is what I'm cautioning you with.
If we're not careful.
Today, Leslie Miller, it's the jet ski operators.
Yes.
Tomorrow, it's going to be the taxi
Yes.
operators.
Be very
and followed
careful.
by the Airbnb
Yes.
operators. And so it doesn't stop. You have to find a way to hemorrhage the bleeding. That's all I'm simply saying to you.
Very careful.
Now, it may not be a camera. It may be just a panic button.
Whatever it is.
But there has to be some mechanism put in place.
Don't take it for granted.
Not
That's
only
a
to
warning.
protect the tourists,
Okay.
but we got to protect our citizens who are trying to make an honest dollar.
That's a shot over the bar by the U.S. to say. Remember, even our former Prime Minister, Dr. Minnis, said, President Trump in his last
spoke with him about it,
administration,
5 years
warned
ago.
him,
5 years ago, yes.
stop the foolishness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get it done.
Yeah.
And nothing was done.
Nothing was enforced.
Nothing was enforced.
Also, you jet ski operators, and I know it's just a few of you. It's always a few anywhere.
Yes.
Man, listen, man. If you want heat, jump in the ocean that you're on. How about that? You know what I mean? You cannot assault people regardless of how they're dressed. Regardless of how they're dressed, because they're wearing and swimsuits nowadays is a whole other matter.
Oh, yeah, they show it
So
everything.
the thing is, but you can't be just so lured by
belong to you.
that you just lose
Don't
all
belong to
common
you, my
sense and
brother.
reasoning.
Yeah.
Come on, man, drive the people
Yeah, don't belong to you.
and bring them back to the beach and move on.
Yep.
Listen,
dangerous.
yes, gentlemen, let's shift to politics. We saw in the Fred Mitchell, PLP chairman, this week also speak about who is running, who is not. He says in certain constituencies, he highlighted, for example, Golden Isles, saying that not many people are offering. I didn't know the PLP was looking to have several, as the FNM does. It's like several people looking at each constituency.
Well, actually, back in the 80s, we used to have something called PPP.
What's that?
And Sean McQueen at that time was the chairman.
What was that?
And I know that's the first time I went in 1987. And he had all of us, Dr. Norris, the whole crew, the young fellas. He said we call it PPP. Probable, possible, potential candidates, they call it.
Oh, that's a
I'll
lot.
never forget that.
Yeah.
And there was about 10 of us for each constituency.
Even as incumbents?
As in, the incumbents were always left alone unless they were really bad.
Right, and this is an incumbent
Okay.
we're speaking of that he highlighted Golden Isles, and it's like who do you expect to want to go against an incumbent, and then
You'd be surprised.
so people perhaps are interested. I think, gentlemen, this election and what's happening is going to be quite interesting. We have not really spent time examining and looking at the candidates and the incumbents and their performance, and the rest of it is something that we have to obviously do. But I thought that was quite interesting. However, though, listen, gentlemen, listen to this. This is amazing. I tell you, now in this instance, it looks like the FNM has its act together. As the election season heats up, a number of female aspirants have thrown their hat in the ring for the Free National Movement, hoping to make the cut. Linton Ritchie Jr. spoke with the female hopefuls and brings us the latest.
A reported uptick in female political aspirants hoping to snatch one of the 39 nominations on the Free National Movement ticket for the 2026 general election is igniting talks across the electorate. 4 women vying for a FNM nomination have identified themselves to Eyewitness News: Denali Penn-Mackey, Heather McDonald, Miriam Reckley Emmanuel, and Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis. The women making the case that it's time for more women in frontline politics.
That we can break the glass ceiling as well.
Now is the time for us to have more space.
Truly believe that this Bahamas that we love can go great places.
I am ready.
Their push comes as the governing Progressive Liberal Party still holds the distinction of having elected the most women to Parliament in a single term, following their landslide victory in 2021. But what constituencies are these women aiming to flip from under the PLP? Well, McDonald is taking an aim at a political stronghold, Anglerston, held by Glenys Hannah Martin for more than 15 years, a seat with deep PLP roots, but McDonald says she's not intimidated.
Nothing too difficult for God to do. And I'm doing this because I'm doing this because I care about the people. And Anglerston, get ready because the fire is in Anglerston already. You just need to catch fire.
Meanwhile, both Reckley Emmanuel and Penn Mackey have their sights set on Southern Shores, currently held by Leroy Major. Penn Mackey, who's no stranger to advocacy, says this is just another level of her commitment to serve.
I've been one who show people love and that I care. And I believe that by offering myself on a different level, I believe that there's so much more that I can do.
Reckley Emmanuel says for her, it's about teamwork and the bigger picture.
I support the leader. And because this is my party, okay, I feel that I should give him and help the F&M to win the victory.
As for Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis, she's keeping her targeted constituency close to the vest, but confirms she too went through the party's rigorous screening. The ladies agree the road to nomination may be demanding, but it hasn't been overwhelming.
Meeting people, shaking hands, speaking at events, going to a lot of churches.
Just meeting the people one-on-one, talking to them, and I'm just hoping that it will come to an end very soon, so we would know who the candidate is.
The whole entire process with our leader, Michael Pintard, has been a seamless one.
And the countdown is on. Party leader Michael Pintard revealing that the first slate of ratified candidates could be announced sooner than later.
To date, more than 75% of the aspirants have in fact been interviewed, that we're going to meet the deadline that we have in our mind to share with the public in the month of May.
Lynton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Miriam got to learn
yes, Miriam, I was telling you, we were discussing this. It's the Free National Movement has several female candidates looking in several areas. Some of the areas, more than two of them, selling Southern Shores is going to be quite interesting because here you have a former member of Parliament serving in Michael, Miriam Emanuel, who is looking at Southern Shores, and then of course Denley Penn.
Yeah, but they got to send them back to prep school first, eh? They're not accountable.
I don't think we should be that unkind. I think what you could say though is that I'm now wondering why members of Parliament who were actually present in a previous constituency like Michael would leave Michael if you did such a great job
and not go back
in Michael and now try to go to Southern Shores. Why would a Travis Robinson leave Grantstown, Bain and Grantstown?
Well, it's right across
and
the road.
now want to go, no, I don't care which side of the road it is. Go back to the side of the road which you came from.
Yeah.
The chicken don't need to cross
so you're saying,
the road.
You're saying, Garth, if you did such a jacked up job,
no reason.
And this is just us saying, because if you ain't going back where you've been, then why?
If you're lousy over there, you'll be lousy here.
And this is the point that I'm
so
making.
if you did such just a horrible job, then where else you going?
Why are you running? And right now we're hearing tales of people running from Elizabeth to Long Island. We're hearing tales of people running from...
No. I asked that gentleman, the gentleman that is supposedly running from Elizabeth. He said, Shanique, no way.
He's staying in Elizabeth, but he can get beat.
Dr. Dwayne Sands says he is remaining...
No one can beat the member of Parliament right now. None.
Listen, this is going to be such a sweet election.
No one is going to beat
Ms.
Davis.
JoBeth Colby Davis.
No one. Let me make that clear.
So she is that fierce.
No.
I'm telling you, in that area, she's totally, absolutely secured.
No. Golden
I'll make
Isles.
that clear.
Golden Isles. Let me tell you what makes Golden Isles so difficult. We've had a member who was a member under the Free National Movement.
Juan Miller.
He crossed the floor. He went over to the PLP.
Yes.
The person who was his general and coordinator while in the F&M is now running against him.
Yes.
In the form of Brian Brown.
Yes.
Brian Brown has been on the ground for 15, 20 years. Just been in everyone's home, knocking on doors
may have been on the ground
for the Free National Movement, so he is well known. The consistency of his effort at this time is that since Juan Miller left the camp of the Free National Movement, he has been on the ground and never stopped. Up till this day, his headquarters is still open. He's doing programs for the elderly. He's doing programs for the young people. He's meeting the people and engaging them in their homes. And so even if he's not the best politician in the world, he surely is consistent. He is persistent and he is committed. Now, in terms
So
of
is
Vaughn
Vaughn
Miller,
Miller.
in terms of Vaughn Miller
Yeah,
now,
he's committed too.
he is not shown that much effort by us. I live in Golden Isles. You may like him. That may be
But do
Shanice's
you live?
cousin.
It
That
is.
may be
It
Leslie's
is.
cousin.
It is my cousin. Yes.
Listen, I got some family who just lousy.
Subdivision in Golden Isles.
No, I don't live in no subdivision.
Listen to me,
I
listen to me,
live in
Garth.
Golden
You don't
Isles.
live in Golden
You live
Isles
in a
proper,
subdivision.
okay? He doesn't live in Golden Isles proper. You don't
live
know
in a
what. You don't know
subdivision.
the work that goes on. You live on the outskirts, Garth.
I live on the outskirts. Garth doesn't walk the streets of Golden Isles. You got to be kidding me. This is Garth Roseborough. From Golden Isles straight until Adelaide West. You can't tell me what Golden Isles, man. I live in Golden Isles.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that's where I live. And wherever I live, I ensure I know what's going on in my community. That is my responsibility. I don't come on beyond the headlines to talk my opinion or to talk emotion. I was there when Vaughn Miller was there, when we had the swimming pig issue. Do you all remember the swimming pig issue?
Yes.
In Adelaide? He was there. Garth was also there, and I spoke at that meeting, and I made sure that they understood what I was saying, and of course, the pigs were removed.
Swimming pigs anyhow. Where
Oh, they were on Rose
They were
Island
removed.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay? Vaughn Miller has been there when it came down to debris being removed. I give him that. When it comes down to the forest fires and the whole coal mining business, he has been a bit lackadaisical for a man who's been so strong in the House of Assembly fighting for natural resources in this country. I'm saying that the people themselves are saying we're not feeling you effectively enough. As for me, I have pet peeves myself. I would like to hear some talk about a high school in the Golden Isles area. Those kids got to go all the way from Adelaide, all the way over to Faith Avenue South just to go to high school. That's unbelievable.
Well, there has been a population boom in that
And this
area.
is what I'm saying.
In Western New Providence, period.
Right.
Yes, and if it's booming, then the representative should also be booming.
Now, where did that justify a $10 to $20 million investment for the kids to travel an extra 10 miles?
Okay.
Something needs to be
I
discussed.
love that challenge. Here's what I'm going to say to you, Mr. Leslie
Yes.
Miller. You're a smart man. Between Golden Isles constituency and Kalani constituency, there's 14,000
Yes,
votes.
and there will be a new.
Now, you can't, if there's no bigger constituencies in your province and you don't have a high school, you got Lightfoot Key got a school. They know the money is out there.
Yeah, but we can't.
Lightfoot Key knows the money is out there, sir.
No, sir,
Yes.
sir, please.
Yes.
That's the money out there for the rich and the wealthy. That's
Are you
not for
rich?
no
But
behaviors
but
now.
he's saying, so he's saying that
That ain't for no
that the
behavior.
middle income persons
Oh,
and
yeah.
less also need a
middle
school.
income can go to them schools.
Sir,
Middle?
No,
Sir.
they need their own school, is what he's saying.
My mother.
Yes.
My mother worked at the bank. My father was an educator in the government system.
Okay.
And they sacrificed to put me in St. Augustine's College. My brother went over to Temple Christian
Yeah,
and all of us went to
hold on.
private schools.
You
Every last
cannot
one.
compare SAC with Lightfoot Key and the school out there
I'll tell you a secret.
in that area.
I'll
You
tell you a
cannot
secret.
compare. Yes, sir.
I'll tell you a secret.
Yes.
You know, Lightfoot Key adopts some of those Haitian Bahamian children
They
and put
do.
them in Lightfoot Key school.
They do.
Yes.
Okay then.
Yeah.
We need a school.
Yeah.
The government can make it
I accept
possible.
that, I
If
accept
you're
that.
going to
If-
build low-cost housing for people who only got to sign on a dotted line and spend $800, you could build a school.
Gentlemen, before we wrap up this segment, and before
accept that.
before I
Thank
hear
you.
that, before
If the population is sufficient.
We are
then,
sufficient.
well, there's talk there's
With
going to be a
children now.
split. There's
We're
talk
sufficient.
with kids, with school-age kids.
Yeah, school-age
but
kids,
listen,
that's
I
what
want
I'm talking
to,
about.
gentlemen, I need to ask you all this. It is said that Dr. Minnis held a meeting last evening. Have you all heard anything about it? Have you all perhaps spoken with anybody who was in the room? I mean, what is that about? Because while the FNM said on this show, this week that, listen, all united, all looking forward. And now we are hearing Dr. Minnis had a meeting last night. Any idea what that was about? What is he cooking?
You been in a meeting?
For me? I heard about the meeting.
Airtime is expensive,
Listen,
y'all.
what-
Y'all ain't saying nothing.
I heard about the meeting, but I can't say nothing about the meeting.
What I was told
It was
this
a closed
morning.
meeting.
Yes, let
But
them-
I was there. I was there.
What I was
Oh,
told.
you were there, Carl?
Oh, I was there.
All right. So what transpired?
It was all held confidential, so I can't say much. Only that right now, patience is of the order of the day, and Dr. Minnis is still committed to the Kalani constituency,
Yes.
and he is planning on representing as best as he could. But he said so much in that meeting, it was mind-boggling. He made mention
Yeah,
that
not the same part,
there's so
but
many
next week.
things that the Prime Minister he could not reveal publicly, but he does have that arsenal within his grasp, and that all that we feel that's happening in the Free National Movement and in Kalani isn't really what it really is. And
what
in
is
short
it?
order, you will hear exactly what it is.
So what is it? What is it? What is he saying? Dr. Minnis, listen, stop dropping these crumbs and stop dropping. I mean you, sir.
Okay. Be forthright,
Dr. Hubert Minnis, stop dropping your crumbs and come talk.
But there's a very good reason why he did so. I don't mean to leave you all in suspense, but I do believe that once you fully understand who Dr. Minnis is and what he has actually done in the past, you will understand that Dr. Minnis truly loves the Bahamas. I'll give you just an analogy as to how I can give a synopsis as to what transpired in my mind. As a child, my father was a disciplinarian, and I got punishment from time to time. And I hated my stepfather for that. I hated him for that. But I didn't realize that this same stepfather put a roof over my head, paid the light bill, paid the water bill, made sure my school fees was paid, made sure I had food in my stomach, made sure I went to church, made sure that I built character to today. Today, my stepfather and I are the best.
So you are saying,
friends.
like Trump is doing, basically, Minnis led with a tough hand, and he had to.
And he had to. And he said last night, I'll say what he said last night, I'll quote him on this. He said that after the third, going on the fourth year, he already knew that the Bahamas would have hated him. But they would have hated him because he was a disciplined leader, and that he would have been misunderstood.
Leslie, your thoughts about this meeting?
From a friend who's in like yourself, the problem with the leadership right now is very simple. In Grand Bahama, for example, with Pintard on his seat, the gentleman who was the former commissioner of police.
Ellison Greenslade. I've been seeing that tossed about. That's a real thing? Is that a real thing?
It is a real thing.
Has been earmarked probably to run in that area because he spent a lot of time in Grand Bahama.
Just as deputy commissioner?
Yes, deputy commissioner. Spent a lot of time and is well liked by the people in that area.
Very well favored.
And that precipitated the movement of the gentleman who went and with the COE, whatever that they call it.
COI,
the
sir.
CI,
Coalition
CI,
of Independence.
Whatever.
COI.
For him to go with them because the leader wants his seat.
So what?
The leader wants, that's what he's going to run. He's going to run in his seat because in there he's weak and he could get beat. The other problem is Mr. Sands, who Ms. Ingram would like to send to Long Island to retain that seat.
See?
Okay? It's a problem because Cartwright, father happens to be from Long Island, and Cartwright knows that he's in trouble in St. Barnabas.
So why are you talking running? See, everybody running away from where they came from.
So he would wish to have that seat, but barring that, he would wish to go in Dr. Minnis' seat.
This is a lot.
Okay, so
now,
this is all hearsay.
You have this situation.
This is all.
No, and the reasoning being, they say if they allow Dr. Minnis to run, as after them, they know he will win. Don't in their minds about that.
He'll be the senior man, and if he wins, he'll be the leader.
What if Pintard loses to the new man?
And Minnis wins.
And Minnis wins.
Mm-hmm.
And what if they decide not to send Cartwright to Long Island and instead send Dwayne Sands?
Yes.
There's a dilemma. Because Minnis would then be the most senior member.
Would be the leader.
Of the Free National Movement in Parliament.
That's correct.
I.e. making him the leader.
That's correct, sir.
And that's the fair God that is within them now.
Garth, did Minnis say this last night?
Me? I don't know. I can't remember.
He can see, but other fellas say.
Listen to me.
You're so sweet, but not tonight.
In any event.
Maybe tomorrow.
This is all hearsay, you all. Leslie, I wanted to tell you about Garth.
This is real life.
Okay, but according to these two gentlemen, that's what was discussed. Leslie, I wanted to tell you about Garth's light bill. Garth, how much is your light bill for a month?
I showed you the receipt. I hope you showed it last email. What was that?
I think $27.
Thank you very much.
I don't believe it.
$20-something.
But how much was the balance?
No, zero.
Thank you very much.
Garth's bill for in a 30-day period.
I told you I'm smart, but you don't have to take my word for it. I
No,
told
but I mean, how do you
do
that?
In a 30-day period, Garth pays less than $30.
How? How's that possible?
Shanique, love you. Love you, BPL. Love you, Bahamas. It's great being here.
I just hope they don't come and check your meter. And your meter
they can check my meter.
The meter ain't working.
Okay.
Listen, guys.
You shouldn't even say that.
You shouldn't be hating, man. I watch my bill fall, my friend.
Thank you both very much. Leslie Miller, Garth Rosborough, I thank you very, very much. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to be talking beauty and teens. It's all after the break.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online. both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tonic Williams Starling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry Commercial Vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you'll need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you tuned in this Friday. Listen, of course, you know, for the next 2 weeks, your little girl, your teen, your preteen will be out of school for the Easter break. And so what are you planning on doing? Well, Eye Candy is launching its Easter makeup camp. It's really, really quite amazing. I've been seeing the flyers all over. I've been even meeting some of the young ladies who are already enrolled. And so this evening, we're going to offer you an opportunity to have your daughter get involved. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Atalia Wilson. Good evening to you, Atalia. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Yes, Shanique, I'm glad to be on your show.
Yes, it's good to have you here. Let's talk about this program that you have sort of just tailor-made for the Easter break for young girls.
Yes, Mom, we're doing some Easter camp here at Eye Candy Makeup Store. It's starting on the 15th to the 17th of April, and we're doing stuff like skincare, hygiene, and we're gonna have the kids do age appropriate makeup, and we're gonna also have confidence building techniques.
So this is really sort of a life skills seminar, boot camp, all of that rolled into one for young girls.
Yes, it is, Shanique. It's a boot camp, and we just want all the parents and in particular fathers. I know they're concerned. They don't want their children or their daughters to have all this makeup on. Say, Talia, what are you doing makeup on my baby? I don't need her to be wearing all this makeup. No. She will not have all that makeup on. It's tailored for teen girls ages 10 to 16, age appropriate makeup. Yes.
Well, I've seen you do some of those even on kids younger than that, especially if they have a special event coming up. So I know that certainly you are quite aware of how to apply age-appropriate makeup for kids, for young girls rather, when they have a special moment coming up. But this is really nice. I mean, the importance of skincare, the importance of even teaching young girls from 10 years old to 16 of the importance of presenting themselves well, of being young ladies, of also valuing the fact that, hey, we are meant to be beautiful and to present ourselves as that in a feminine way. What was the thought behind this Easter boot makeup camp?
The thought really, Shanique, we usually offer a summer camp, and we thought it would be fitting to offer it for the Easter break. We know parents are concerned, and they want a fitting camp, and they want to know that wherever they send their children, that they're safe, and so we want to be able to cater to parents in that regard.
Yeah, to step in and assist, because we know those 2 weeks is like, what are you doing? Of course, the camp is not 2 weeks, but it's just something good to occupy those girls' minds, to have them obviously learn some valuable life skills as well. It's so important, Talia, for young girls to learn life skills, to learn self-worth and self-care and all the rest of it. Who are some of the presenters that you're going to have there to kind of teach them those life skills? I know you take care of all the aesthetics and the makeup, but you mentioned about, just other areas that they should know how to sort of show up and how to begin valuing themselves even at a young, tender age.
In fact, Shanique, it's just me. I'll be hosting the camp, and I'll also be teaching the camp. I'll be assisted by with Shelly, and she'll be assisting me. And so it's all me. Doing the teaching and teaching the classes.
Which is good because you have a tremendous amount of experience, so that's awesome. Talk about the importance, even at that young age. We know that. I mean, we would know that, but even for little girls to begin understanding why it's so important even now, wherever you are in terms of age, to begin valuing and taking care of your skin.
My daughter, Shanique, my daughter is 5 years old, soon to be 6, and I see Dakota, she's having a skin routine in the morning time. She said, "Mommy, I have to do my skin." And I said, "You know what, Dakota? I need to put this or put this toward a camp or something." And she said, "Yes, Mommy, yes, you can put it toward a camp." And I think that's so important because teens are watching TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and they need to know that everything on Instagram and TikTok and on these social mediums are not good, and we're gonna target that at the camp.
Well, that's really awesome. When does it get started? Is there a fee attached, or how can persons reach out to you at Eye Candy Makeup Studio to get more information, to register? Because after all, this is next week, and so how can people get in touch with you?
Yes, so they can get in touch with us calling 393-9158 or at the store 393-2989. The camp is $200. It's also included
Okay, I think we may have lost that connection. I hope that she can come back. So I think she was going to say a makeup kit for the girls to have. The makeup that they use, obviously they will be able to carry home with them age-appropriate makeup, skincare techniques, and just life skills for young girls. That camp, of course, is next week. You heard Atalia list off the numbers there. Atalia, continue. List the numbers again.
395-9158 and 393-2989. Those are the numbers at the store and WhatsApp.
Okay, awesome. Again, Atalia, the Easter makeup boot camp for your preteen and your teenager stopping at 16 years old, something to have them occupied and enjoy the Easter holiday break, and they can go back to school saying, listen, here's what I learned and here's how I look. It's never too early, certainly. Atalia, thank you very much, and good luck with that camp. I know I see some of the young girls already there doing different programs that you have running already, and so it's really good to see that you're reaching out in this way for again, the 10-year-olds to the 16-year-olds, being able to just help them be better groomed and understand the importance of that. Thank you.
Yes, Mom. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Listen, I thank you all so much for tuning in all week long. Certainly been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday. Let's keep it going, shall we? Until then, for the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a blessed weekend, everyone.